I didn't tie anybody up.
Okay.
I was never on the scene where anyone was killed. I think the law says you can only keep me 17 years or 18 years if I was never on the scene when anyone was killed. I was never on the crime scene, if anything.
Have you never felt remorse for the crimes you committed?
What crimes? I told you I haven't committed any crimes.
This confusion belongs to you. It's your confusion. I don't have any confusion. I don't have any guilt. I know what I've done, and no man can judge me.
Someone comes to me and says, we're going to kill so-and-so. I tell them, oh, what do you think about that? No, I don't think about it. I'm not mad at him. I don't even know it. They say, well, we're going to get him. I said, well, what do you want me to do? They said, you want to come with us and help us? I said, nope. I'm not breaking no laws this time.
I didn't kill nobody. I didn't tell nobody to get killed.
Okay.
I didn't get no trial.
Okay,
you know?
Mr.
Yeah, we don't want to hear
That's
that.
it.
See?
I don't
We don't want to mix anything
Thank
up
you.
with the truth. Does anyone have any remorse that I've spent 23 years in a solitary cell, and even on Devil's Island, you didn't keep anyone over 5 years? There's another letter in there that you didn't read about how Manson was burned up and how people threw fire on him. They should have killed him. They didn't tell you that they tried to kill me at least 30 or 40 times, that they haven't been able to kill me because I'm right with my God and I'm right with myself, and I didn't break the law.
I told the judge, can't you see what you're doing here? He didn't care. Nobody cared.
When he was finally given the right to testify in court, prosecutor Vincent Bugliosi argued that Manson's hypnotic powers might be too persuasive to the jury. Thus, they were banned from hearing his testimony on the grounds that they might be convinced of Manson's innocence.
I'm still right there saying, all right, man, you know, like, if that's what you want to do, but you're only destroying yourselves, man. I don't preach it, but I know it. It's a reality. It's a reality. Jesus Christ is a reality.
And all you comedians who get up there and tell jokes about Charlie Manson, what would you do if I was in the same room with you? I know more about the economy, more about money, more about the government than any 10 presidents you got. You know, in other words, I've sat in solitary confinement and I watched everything you guys do. And the truth is, you're all lying to yourselves.
I have empathy for your children. I have understanding for your children and compassion for your children. And I love those kids with my heart and my soul. And I seen the struggle that they were struggling through, being thrown out of their houses, no place to go. Daddy's a rocket scientist. Mama's always drunk. So did I put the kids in the garbage can? Your society put your kids in the garbage can. I picked them out of the garbage can and said, all you got to do, tell the truth and be honest.
I go in the vision room and all the kids run over, so they won't let me in the vision room because all the kids come over to play, man. And they get up in my lap, and the little 5-year-old get up in my lap, and he'll say, I'm Charlie Manson, give me your money. And he takes their money away from him, and he laughs. He's only 5. But that would make me a bad guy because you would say I was influencing him. But how about him? Is he influencing me?
You come and draw a line, you say, you can't get out of there. And I say, out of where? You say, you're locked up. I said, locked up in what? He said, well, you're locked up and we're free. And I said, oh, yeah? And then you walk back and forth and you play important with my life as if you got something that I want.
They got some big old fat women that paint their faces and shit and dye their hair, and they cut the legs off the table so the little girls can't get over and play with the little guys. And they got all kinds of little sex paranoias and little deceiving, little lying, cheating little things that they play. And then they'll push them off on somebody else and say it's all their fault, that they're no good and we got the bad guys locked up over here and we're all the good guys.
So the public can feel safe against this monster, we're going to charge you $200 million to build another set of penitentiaries. Why don't you tell the public what's really going on? Why don't you tell them the water's so bad the fish can't live in it? Why don't you tell them that the polar caps are melting because you're creating so much heat with this machine? You see what I'm saying? Why don't you tell them the truth? That we were going to blow the world up in the 60s, but a handful of kids jumped up and said, no, give the other children a chance. And they saved it from being blown up. You've medicated me, you've burnt me, you've beat me, you've stabbed me, you've done everything you can do to me, and I'm still here, and you're still going to have to face the truth about this case sooner or later. Hey, how you doing? You still in there? Is anybody there?
They'll run out and demonstrate for a nuclear power plant and go home and turn electricity on. If you want to demonstrate for a nuclear power plant, don't use electricity. Does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? They want to demonstrate for something on one hand and get their faces up in the camera and like, look at me, I'm different, you know, or pay me to be somebody, you dig? And then on the other hand, they can't be somebody because they go home and turn the fucking electricity on and use the same fucking pollution. You dig what I'm saying? In other words, you can't protest cutting down trees with paperwork.
All the people that want to live, stop cutting down trees and stop polluting the ground.
There's shopping malls where the lake used to be, using up all the water. And, the creeks over there where the freeway is, and you can't swim there anymore. There's no more fish there, and civilization has moved out and it's choking all the life off the earth.
The truth is, simply, the planet Earth is dying.
Every time I go to these committees, I'll wait 2 or 3 years for you. And I'll sit in a cell and stare at the wall for 2 or 3 years, just waiting for you people. And then when you get here, you can't even give me 5 minutes. Each one of you is somebody. I am nobody. I'm nothing. I'm now. I've been now all my life. My mother went to prison and left me. And everybody's lied to me. My principal is not locked up in a bank, and my soul is not locked up in a government, and my life is not locked up in a penitentiary. You got my body in a cell, but that's only a day, you know. That don't count for no eternity. I'm walking in forever, man.